right? That horrible sinking feeling when your phone just dies. Is it a goner? Just a pricey paperweight now? Well, today, we're going to take a look inside the Sydney CBD Repair Centre and see something that honestly looks like a straight-up miracle, bringing a completely dead Poco X3 back to life.
And look, this is way more than just swapping out a cracked screen. What you're about to see is a seriously nail-biting journey into the world of advanced board repair. We're talking about devices that are this close to being tossed in the e-waste bin, but they get a second chance. It's pretty amazing what's possible when you have real expertise in the right tech.
All right, so to really get a feel for this whole art of resurrection, we're going to follow two different cases. They really show the incredible range of problems these technicians face. We'll kick things off with something super common, but also surprisingly dangerous. And then we'll tackle a phone that was, for all intents and purposes, completely and totally gone. Okay, first up, we've got a problem that might look pretty simple on the surface, but trust me, it's basically a ticking time bomb. The patient here is a Poco X3, and what's going on inside? It's a lot more dangerous than just a simple inconvenience. And you can see it right there. The back cover is literally being pushed open from the inside out. That's the battery swelling up, putting this insane amount of pressure on the whole frame, the screen, everything. This isn't just a phone with bad battery life, people. This is a genuine fire hazard. It needs a pro like yesterday.
So watching this process, you really see how careful and methodical they have to be. First, they use a bit of alcohol to dissolve that super strong factory glue, then they can gently pry the cover off. But here, this is the most critical part, getting that swollen battery out. It has to be disconnected and removed so carefully. Because if you accidentally puncture that thing, you could have what's called a thermal runaway. And that means fire. Not good.
Wow. And the difference is it's night and day. Seriously, look at that. On the left, you've got that crazy curve of the bloated battery. It's like a little pressure cooker in there. Then on the right, the new one, perfectly flat. The second that new battery goes in, all that dangerous pressure is just gone. The screen and frame can finally relax, and most importantly, the phone is safe again.
Okay, so fixing a puffy battery is one thing. You can see the problem, right? But what happens when the issue is totally invisible? When a phone just gives up the ghost with no warning? Now we're getting into something way more complex. This is a case that looks pretty much hopeless.
This right here, this is what the pros call the flatline moment. The phone is a complete brick. You hit the power button, nothing. Plug it in, nothing. It does absolutely zero. And the owner said there were no repair attempts or anything. It just died. So the big question is, can this thing even be saved?
And this is where the real detective work kicks in. With a swollen battery, the problem was staring you in the face. But here, there are no outside clues at all. The root cause is a total mystery. Is it something simple with the power, or does something totally catastrophic happen deep down on the phone's main circuit board?
So, to crack this case, they bring out the heavy-duty tools. First up, a multimeter, and yep, it confirms a power delivery failure. But that doesn't tell them where the problem is. The real aha moment comes from this, a thermal imaging camera. It shows this hidden hotspot, an area on the motherboard that's getting way too hot. So we know the problem isn't the battery. It's much deeper.
Now, when you have a problem this deep on the motherboard, you can't just swap out a part and call it a day. Nope. This requires what you can only really call a surgical strike. It's a super delicate operation that has to be done by a seriously skilled technician with an incredibly steady hand.
First things first, they have to take it apart, and this is a painstaking process. You know, inside a modern smartphone, everything is just packed in there so tightly. Every tiny little ribbon cable, every connector, they're all incredibly fragile and absolutely critical. Just one wrong move here and you could make things even worse.
And this is the heart of the whole operation. The technician is literally working under a microscope, performing what's called micro-soldering. They're fixing circuits and replacing components that are smaller than a single grain of rice. I mean, the level of precision and skill here is it's absolutely incredible.
You just can't do this kind of work without professional-grade tools. It's impossible. They're using things like hot air rework stations for super precise heating, and they even do these advanced techniques like reballing. That's where they actually take a microchip off the board, rebuild all the tiny little solder connections underneath it, and then perfectly reattach it. This is microsurgery, plain and simple, and it's light years beyond anything you could do with a DIY kit from Amazon.
All right, so after that absolutely incredible surgery on the motherboard, the slow, careful process of putting it all back together begins. Every single component has to go back in its exact spot. Every cable has to be connected just right. And now, it's time for the moment of truth.
And make no mistake, this last step is just as critical as the repair itself. Putting it back together has to be perfect. Every single tiny connector seated just so. Every screw back in its place. The success of this entire crazy operation really comes down to getting this part exactly right.
So, the board's been fixed, the phone is all back together, but the one big question is still hanging in the air. After all that microscopic, high-stakes work, is it actually going to turn on? And there it is, a successful boot. The screen lights up, the logo pops up, the phone has officially been brought back from the brink. You know, this isn't just a repair, it's a straight-up resurrection. So, think about what we just saw. Two incredible repairs. One dealing with a clear and present danger, the other bringing a device back from being completely dead. It really makes you think about a bigger question, right? In a world that's always telling us to just replace everything, what's the real value of getting something fixed?
And this list really hits the nail on the head. This is why professional repair is so important. It's not just about fixing what's obviously broken. It's having the expertise to find those hidden problems you would never see yourself. It's having the specialized tools for that microsurgery we just witnessed. And super importantly, it's about safety, both in handling dangerous parts like those swollen batteries and in getting rid of the e-waste properly. At the end of the day, it's about getting a repair that isn't just a temporary patch-up, but something that's actually built to last.
And you know, the really great thing is that these kinds of high-level, reliable repair options are actually accessible to people. Places like the Sydney CBD Repair Centre even offer mail-in repairs, which means you don't have to be in Sydney to get access to this kind of expert help.
Which kind of brings us full circle, back to that big question. After seeing what's truly possible when you have the right skills and the right tools, you've really got to ask yourself, when your phone dies, is it really the end of the line? Or could it just be the start of a pretty epic comeback story?
So you had a phone disaster? Yeah, I came in with a broken camera, totally useless. But David at Sydney CBD Repair Centre was great. Within a day, the part was...
So phone disaster?
Came in with a brick camera. David fixed it in a day. Good as new. Highly recommend.
Our daily superhero, Mr. Repairman, David, is here. Call 8011-4119 now.
My Motorola Edge 50 screen was smashed. David here ordered the part and fixed it next day in 1 hour.
Our daily superhero, Mr. Repairman, David, is here. Call 8011-4119 now.
Wang, tell us about your recent phone repair.
David was super professional. He fixed my Galaxy Z Flip 4 in an hour. I literally walked in broken and walked out perfectly fixed.
Yeah, highly recommend.
If you have mobile phones issue, you can walk in. We're open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. 6 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. 2 p.m.